Good evening. Okay, so tonight I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit because had several classes today, several consultations this week, and working with a lot of different people who seem to be seemingly in some similar places. And I thought, I'm going to just go ahead and do a one-time video that may possibly help a lot of different people at one time, just so I figure if these people that I'm working with personally are going through some things, if I'm seeing some patterns going on, then why not just probably most likely there's multiple people who are going through similar things. And so I just want to address that. It's going to be a two-part video. I'm going to share a little bit tonight about this in the next few minutes, just very, very short. And also tomorrow I will be doing a part 2 with some homework and some exercises to help. But tonight I just want to unpack like kind of where I can see where some people are, and this may be one of you guys. So in the awakening process, there's a lot of different stages, and I don't have it down to a science, but I can tell you just from people that I've been working with, there's a lot of people who are on the planet that are waking up, whether you want to say it's because the Schumann resonance is shifting, the cosmic stuff's going on, whatever is happening, people are coming to themselves, if you want to say, and waking up to the situation of where we're at. And, what happens when we awaken is there's several things. There's like this symphony of things that happen in a certain order. And some of it, like number one, I would say would be the awakening process, where you just like wake up and you're like, whoa, and you have eyes to see, you can differentiate between things, and you feel differently physically. Number two, what happens is in that awakening process, you can start to remember and or differentiate between your belief system, what you actually believe, what you may have believed because of any programs of like conditioning the way you were grown up, through your environment, through what other people have put on you, through just customs, through programming, through television, music, the government, like educational system, and so during that step 2, you're going to be in that process of not just awakening to what your actual real beliefs are, but you'll be able to differentiate between, is this something that I actually really believe, or is this something that was programmed into me, or is this something that I have tuned into? As Robert Tennyson Stevens was sharing earlier on a class that we were doing, there is a difference between having fear and having a belief system versus just tuning into the wrong channel and being connected to the programs that are going on out there. And when you get into this awakening process, number one, you get into the awakening process. You wake up, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm awake. And number two, you get into that stage where you're differentiating, wait, was that real? Is this real? Is this my belief system? Why do I believe that? Where did that belief system come from? Is that a program? Is that something outside or inside? And you can start to have those conversations within your mind and within your heart, and you can differentiate. The next stage would be stage 3. And for me, what I have witnessed and experienced is there's a little bit of an emotional impact on that, because some people get very upset and angry if they've been, brought up in a program or a belief system that isn't even real or true, whether it was through customs or through, your family, or just what people told you, or again, the educational system, the programs on the earth, whatever it is. Sometimes people get angry because they're like, angry at themselves, angry at other people, angry at systems, whether it's the educational, the religious systems, whatever. And they're like, how could I believe that? How could they have taught that? How could I have taught that? How, whatever, whoever. And some people go through real life grief, of just sad for wasting time being in the system, or thinking that way, or being a pawn to thinking that way, or not even being awake enough to realize you were in the system. So there's all of these stages. And that emotional stage, that's a crucial stage, and it's not a time to push it down, depress it, oppress it, suppress it. Give yourself permission to feel the feelings and go with the flow. And if you're seeing other people going through those process steps, be okay with where they are and just accept it. That's a great time to use different oils like acceptance and surrender, and just to be like, you know what? Okay, so that was a learning experience. What was the good points of being in those situations? What can I take away from that? You can't change the past necessarily, but you can realize where you are and go forward and help other people who may have been in that situation without the judgment, without the anger, without the fear, without the sad, without the grief. So, but give yourself permission to go through all these stages. It's completely normal. Another stage after this emotional situation is, you may find yourself very uncomfortable, or it may be unfamiliar to you because you're just kind of like reestablishing and recalibrating where you are in the midst of all of this. And what I've seen is that there's two things that can happen. Is number one, you replace it with something really positive and solid and move forward with what truth is or what union is. Or we do have sometimes a tendency to not want to make connection with those feelings, not want to make any connection with the uncomfort or the unfamiliarity. And so you may grab at other things to distract, whether it's working a whole bunch of hours or hanging out with different people that can help you distract, or Netflix binging, or video games, or go buy a bunch of stuff, or keep yourself busy to not feel the feelings, not give yourself that time to and permission to express the feelings and go through that actual stage. Some people may want to skip that stage altogether by filling that void and masking those emotions with other things. And they could be, like I said, really good replacement, or it can be, like I said, these other things that are very much not necessarily helpful or your highest. This could even include like drugs or drinking or pornography or gambling, or there's not like one that's worse than the other, spending sprees, whatever. Like, we can look for external things to sort of cope with the emotions that are going on from this whole wake up process. And some people find that a way to just, to quote, manage it, but it's not really managing it. It's just taking a little bit of detour from living in the feeling and accepting where you're at, whatever that pain is. So I would give you my strongest encouragement to just try to do everything you can to replace it with what is true, and activities that are positive and things that are fruitful and your highest choice. Because Robert would say anything less than your highest choice always contains self-sabotage. So number 4, if it's not replaced by something positive, we do sometimes default to some less than higher choices that honestly will just keep us in the hamster trail, the hamster wheel of, not dealing with it and, looking again for the external when really it's all right here. So, but even if people make those choices and look for those external things, number 5, what I've seen is eventually people do hit some sort of rock bottom in some way or another. Some people's rock bottom may not really be a rock bottom to everybody else, but some of it is very much rock bottom. And what I mean by that is we discover that no matter how much work you work, or how much Netflix you watch, or how much you avoid the feeling through all the different things that you can, that's not going to take away the situation either. And there's a wake up to the wake up. There's a wake up to, you know what, I just got to face this. I'm looking at it, and when we can do that, that's the beginning of the transmuting of things. And that's the beginning of the rebuilding process of who you really are and what you're really doing and why you're really here. And again, some people could find that when they get to that place where there's like, okay, I got these emotions, I'm waking up, I'm trying to differentiate between what's real and what isn't, the programs, what's really mine, what's my belief system, where did I come from? And then looking at yourself and going, okay, these are the feelings that I'm feeling about all of that, and I'm okay with that, and then replacing it with something positive. What you can find in the midst of that is there is a little bit of on the edge, sort of like unfamiliar, uncomfort feeling, because you've not ever been here before. This is brand new. And, for most of us who live in somewhat of a structured situation, or you may be like a really green personality where you got to have like all your ducks in a row before you step out. Being in the unknown and the unfamiliar is extremely uncomfortable, because again, it's new, it's change. A lot of people don't like change, and that's okay. But I'm here to tell you that change can be your best friend. That not knowing and just being in the zone of not knowing could be your very best gift with that perception. And I was given this picture. I just came off a 27-day fast, and in part of it, I had this like epiphany. Like, if you are an artist and a co-creator, and someone came up to you with a 5 feet by 6 feet, huge, beautiful canvas that was already filled with colors and rainbows and mountains and suns and nature and something really, really beautiful, and handed it to you guys and said, hey, paint something. I want you to create something. You would look at this painting and it may be beautiful to you, or it may not be beautiful to you, but you would look at it and go, how do I paint something on top of what's already been painted? And there's no room for creativity. It's more like, let me just try to add to it or connect some things, or unless you just like painted over the whole thing and started over. But the best place ever to be in the middle of all this change is the unfamiliar, and is, for those of you who are looking to creating from scratch is your best point of all. Your best case scenario is someone to hand you that 5 feet by 6 foot canvas that's completely clear and white and free, and hand it to you and say, now go create something. That's when we can really get in the fun zone. That's when we can really exercise creativity, is because we're not adding on to another program. We're not, shimmying some stuff together, like MacGyver style. We're not having to wonder, is this my belief? Is that my belief? Is this my truth? You get to actually be the co-creator of your life. You get to look at that brand new canvas, and you get to set it on your aisle, and you get to paint, and you get to put your images and your beliefs and your systems and what is true to you now here. And that's your best opportunity to create. Not on top of something else or somebody else or whatever someone else did or said or did or tried to get you to believe, but creating from nothing, creating from that place of starting completely fresh. So for those of you who are going through this transition, and those of you who are in this like, oh my gosh, this is so uncomfortable, this is so unfamiliar, it can be. I get it. I totally get it. And I also am here to encourage you that this is your best day. This is a gift, because you get to choose, you get to co-create. God is in you, and you are a co-creator. And this is your time to really dig deep and see, what do I believe, and what is my highest, and what am I excited about, and what am I passionate about? And I would encourage you to get a piece of paper or a real canvas and just ask yourself, like, what are things that really make me happy? What are things that I'm excited about? What are things that I have energy about? And start writing those things down. Maybe it's 5 things. Maybe they don't even make sense to you. Maybe it's like a free trip to Maui, or a dog, or a partner, or creating a new book or a new project, or, you don't have to know how you're doing any of it or how it's all going to work, or any instructions on anything. But this is a time for you to just throw those things out there, stick it on a piece of paper, and know that God's got this. You don't have to figure out how. You just put out there on the paper or on the canvas this image or these words, and you just trust. This is where trust comes in. This is when you sit down and go, you know what, I just trust that is coming within me for a reason, and that this is coming out for a reason, and then this is my time to create and manifest that. So for those of you who are feeling super like out there and I'm not sure and I don't even know, I mean, literally after 27 days of fasting, and I was doing sometimes 4 to 10 hours of meditations a day, and you know, I was getting so many different things during these meditations. And I swear, like at one point I went out of the house just to get the mail and have a little bit of a recess. And, you know, if perception is true, if what is your reality, then I remember like walking out there and going, okay, so I guess this is how my neighborhood would look right now if this was really real. And it really is real, but I'm just saying, like, I guess this is my perception of what a neighborhood would look like. And so therefore I've created this neighborhood to be in that perception right now in this time and space on this plane. And I kind of laughed at myself because I was like, where did that come from? Like, that just sounds so weird and out there. And I'm in the process of changing so many things at once right now. And I know a lot of you are. And it's okay to not have all the answers. And it's okay to not know how it's all going to work. And it's okay that it's just a blank space right now, because that is your opportunity to really hit the highest levels of fun and easy creation. So do not be discouraged. This is a time to be encouraged that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And you're doing exactly what you're supposed to. We are unplugging from all these crazy programs. We're allowing them to dissolve, you know, and yeah, it's unfamiliar. And, you know, it'd be so much easier at times to just plug into what's familiar. But the thing is, like, you know, you may even say like, well, I'm going to go this direction because it kind of feels right. You know, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it feels right because that's what you've been doing this whole time. And maybe it's time to do something else. You know, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I don't know about you. I'm just ready to have a new me. I'm ready to be new. I'm ready to have a different outcome. I'm ready to not respond the same way that I have, or actually to respond in a new way instead of having reactions. And so this is your time. I'm telling you this. This is so true. And tomorrow I'm going to go into a few ways that you can actually practice some things. But for tonight, I'm going to ask you to get out a piece of paper and just think of 5 things that like really make you happy, make you excited, things that are important to you, things that you're passionate about, and just write those things down, or paint it, or do it on an outcome map, or do it on a vision board. And don't have any questions, and don't have any answers, and don't have any fill in the blank on how it's going to work, but just write those things down. And I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow, but I just want to encourage you that you don't have to be scared, that you don't have to be worried, that you don't have to be nervous about the unfamiliar, because it's totally normal to feel unfamiliar in a time where we're doing everything completely different, and that you are brand new. You know, it says in scriptures, God makes all things new, and we're in that season where we're going from new to 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 new, moment to moment to moment. And I have all my trust and all my love and all my security knowing that you got this. I'm telling you, you got this. We got this. It doesn't matter what the news says. It doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. It doesn't matter what old things happened before. It doesn't matter, you know, what other experiences that you've had in the past. Don't even give attention to any of that. Give attention what is true and what's within here, and the things that make you feel happy. And focus on those things, and then watch what happens, because seek ye first the kingdom of God. Where's the kingdom? Right here. And then all these things will be added unto you. It is just like walking over to a Kleenex box and you're like, I don't know what to do, but you pull that Kleenex The next one comes up, the next one comes up, the next one comes up. But you got to take the first step to take that Kleenex up. And your first step tonight for this homework is just write down 5 things that really get you excited about something. Like what 5 things that you're passionate about, 5 things that maybe you've never even done before that are just crazy, that, you know, jumping off a building, or I don't know, skydiving, or going on a trip, or talking to a friend, or making a phone call, or getting a dog, or playing a song, or writing something, or doing a live, or whatever it is. Do something that brings you life, that brings you excitement, and just write those 5 things down and then go do them. All right. I'll talk to you about this more tomorrow. But I'm going to just conclude that you are not crazy, that this is just a changing season time, that you have a blank canvas in front of you. And yes, it's white, but it's white because you get to create whatever you want on there. That's not bad. This is fun. This is exciting. And as long as you have the perspective that this is fun and easy and exciting, then that will be your reality. If you have the reality of this unfamiliar stuff is stupid and terrible and sucks, and I hate this and I don't want to do it, and it's terrible, and I'm going back, I'm going to get to fill these emotions in with all these external things that are keeping me really busy and not get to the real, then you're going to have a longer route around the mountain. The quick way to the mountain is just to focus on the things that are exciting to you and fun and jumping in with that. So be happy that you have a clean slate. Be happy for change. Be happy for that beautiful white canvas that's just ready for you to paint all over it. All right. Love you so much. Talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye. Hey, share and tag with somebody, because I know there's some people out there who are in the same boat, and we can all be in the boat together. All right. Forgot to say that. Definitely share and tag. All right. Bye.